The reason that I'm here is because I want to tell you a little bit about what's behind some of these FBI witch hunts that are going on. I mean, it is true that if you go back to the time of J. Edgar Hoover, there was COINTELPRO. The federal government itself had a political agenda to go after people who were progressive, who were trying to change this society and bring about social justice. But in addition to that, there's actually a very active effort, in particular by Zionists in this country and in Canada, to actually do research on anyone who's active in the Palestine Solidarity movement. And what they do, there was actually an article that I had here from the Toronto Star, and it was an article that was about a Zionist activist, and what she was doing research on Palestine activists and then using the law against them to try to find, small things that they may have done wrong in the past, and then use that to bring court cases against them. And this could very well be the background to Rasmea's case, or for that we know that it is true in the case of the Holy Land Foundation. So these are cases that are not necessarily initiated by the FBI or by the federal government. Many of them are in fact initiated as complaints by Zionists who have dug up some kind of shaky evidence that they then use to demand an investigation, and that investigation then results in a protracted investigation by the FBI and other federal agencies. And I can relate to that because from my own history, because in the 1970s I was investigated by the FBI, and that FBI investigation was not something that was initiated by the FBI. It was initiated because I participated in a demonstration in front of Chabad House in Berkeley, and there were observers inside the Chabad House who made all the observations that were written up in the FBI report. And that section of the FBI report was no less than 30 pages long. It came from a Zionist inside the Chabad House. And so these are the kinds of things that are happening. And of course, nothing ever happened to me because I didn't do anything wrong. I was simply exercising my right of free speech to protest. It was not, the protest actually was not a protest against the Zionists per se, but it was just a protest that was passing in front of that building. And so what we have in the case of Rasmea Odeh is a court case that is being initiated on the basis of some kind of a very small charge that is being used against her because of where she stands politically, because she is a Palestine Solidarity activist. So that's what I want people to be aware of. And that's why it's our duty to resist and stand against. And that's why it is our responsibility for those of us who stand for human rights, who stand for social justice, to demand that the FBI and the federal government drop the charges against Rasmea Odeh and all the other Palestine Solidarity activists, of whom there were at least 23 who were issued a subpoena a few years ago. That all charges be dropped, and that the grand jury investigations be dropped immediately. Thank you.